Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. Thanks so much for joining us. And before we start, please go buy some merch.
I mean, how can you resist that? On bags, stickers, water bottles, T-shirts. Come on, people. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, we just want we want to be able to do more stuff, and we need money to do more stuff. And this is how. So please help and support us.
And all the money goes back into the company. We do not take a salary from it.
All right. Yes. So pitch out of the way.
Jumping ahead.
We are going to talk today about the Golden Girls. How can you not love the Golden Girls, right? Everybody loves the Golden Girls. So specifically, we wanted to talk about an episode that Julie was watching one day at like Nick at Night or something like that. Season 7.
Nick at Night. Is that even real? Does that still exist?
I don't have cable.
I don't even think that's a thing anymore. I think I was watching it on Hulu.
Hulu? Oh, right.
I'm just pointing out the fact that you just totally went back to like 1990 right
now. Well,
we're going to look it up and see if Nick at Night is still a thing. Old man. Go ahead. What do we got?
See, the gray,
I know,
right?
It's my fault.
Anyway, so season 7, episode 1 of the Golden Girls features hearing aids, or the need to get hearing aids. And so Sophia suddenly can't hear, and Dorothy thinks she needs hearing aids. Hilarity ensues. So you can see by my tone in my face that there's some problems there. But this was the 90s, as Julie so nicely reminded me. So you're going to get what you're going to get from it's a product of its time.
It didn't age well.
It wasn't horrible.
But
these
tropes still exist in entertainment today. So forward progress hasn't really been made in terms of how hearing loss is portrayed in popular media. And I say that because the reboot of Sex and the City.
Oh, right. Steve.
A couple of times in those early episodes, one of the characters needed hearing aids. It just became this running gag. I took to Twitter and I just blasted them out of the water.
Yeah.
It was not okay. So it hasn't really changed as much as we would like to think that society has made progression relative to hearing loss. And this show, I think, relied heavily on the stigma.
Yes,
of
big time.
Loss, for sure. So tell me what your notes were.
So when Dorothy first thinks that Sophia needs hearing aids, she gets a pamphlet, of course, from the doctor's office and shows the 4 signs of hearing loss. The avoidance of social activities. People who can't hear act forgetful. They act cranky, and they laugh out of context. Now, all these are true. I mean, I think because it's hard, as hopefully you can tell by now, it's a lot of work to listen, to hear, to engage in the world not made with our needs in mind. And so most of these things Sophia does exhibit during the course of the show. And then once Dorothy decides that her mother needs hearing aids, she does the one trope that you actually experienced the other day at a doctor's office. She over-enunciates what she's saying. That is insulting and unhelpful. And you can see that 30 years ago is carried over to today. I don't understand what people are thinking.
I think often it's a well-intentioned act for the most part. And they just don't know.
Right. And that's why we come in. We hope we can do a lot of good because we raise the awareness of these situations and hopefully have them stop happening.
Yeah.
So some of the laughs at mishearing, right? Because that's the go-to, right? Somebody mishears something, ha ha ha, hilarity ensues. It wasn't as bad actually because of how it was written. It's in character, right? For Sophia to subvert expectations. That's her character. So she mishears something, everybody laughs. She says she's just kidding. It almost fits in the character, but again, it's still uncomfortable as someone who's lived that experience. Its intentions are different than impact, as we've seen way back in season 1. And so, the intention might have been noble, but the impact wasn't. And then, of course, there's a bait and switch. And so Dorothy is the one who needs the hearing aids. And so Sophia makes it feel like it's something to be ashamed of because she won. She beat Dorothy. Sophia does not need hearing aids. Her daughter does.
It comes across like a personal failing of something that you can't control in your body. It makes it seem like Dorothy chose this.
Right. It's her fault.
I would not choose this. It's not fun. So that bothered me a little
Same.
bit about the way that was
Same,
portrayed.
very much so.
Because it's not a personal failing. It's
Right.
your biology.
Yep. And so she compounds it by refusing to get hearing aids.
Mhm.
She doesn't. At the end of the episode, nobody has hearing aids,
Right.
which is really problematic. One of the things they said in that pamphlet that Dorothy has and Sophia trots back out as the comeuppance was there was an emphasis on how small hearing aids are. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Because as you can tell, if you've interacted with us or like we've had miscommunications on the show, we're sitting right next to each other. And that proves that the hearing aids just aid, they don't fix.
Right.
And so by being invisible, you don't get the help you need, right? Somebody with glasses, you're not going to hold the paper away from them
Right.
because you can see that they have vision problems. So you're going to help them. You're going to move it forward or back, depending. But if you can't see the hearing aids,
And then focus on, it's small, it's
hate it.
discreet, it's in the ear. Why are you ashamed? It is
Yep.
your biology.
Yep. Yeah,
Stigma
it's
is
sad.
huge.
So the only thing the last thing I'll mention is, of course, they trotted out the Beethoven joke. Like, that's, I mean, like, so common. Like, great, he was deaf. What does that have to do with the situation?
Why are we going back to historical figures from
Yeah.
hundreds of years ago as the example? I'm sorry, was he the last deaf person to walk the earth? Why are we still talking about him? Never mind Helen.
I was going to say.
Don't get me going on Helen. We need to focus on contemporary people that are just living their lives and happen to have hearing loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the thing.
I'm trying to think about like any media. Has there ever been anyone who has hearing aids that's just part of who they are, not their defining characteristic?
Besides us,
The only thing I can think of is Hawkeye, and we had an episode of him, Marvel's Hawkeye, right? He lost his hearing, so he has a hearing aid, and so it is part of him. It becomes a big part of the story arc with the Disney Plus TV show. But like, I think that's the best I've seen because he's more than just his hearing aid. When his hearing aid gets like broken, he still goes on, and the hearing becomes a challenge to fight the bad guys, but it's not the only challenge. It doesn't make him helpless. It doesn't make him the butt of jokes. And so, like, that's one TV show.
so reductionist. It makes me nuts.
So, yeah, it's. But again, this is where I think that we can do a lot of good. Is because we need to raise the awareness. It's not a one and done type thing. We've been doing this now for over 2 years, and we just need to keep having these conversations. And so, if you see something on like TV, like mention it to somebody else and say like that's not okay. You don't have to like belabor the point or shame anyone into becoming like an activist, but just get these conversations going. Get people talking about it. Normalize talking about hearing loss. That's what we're trying to do. Anything else about the Golden Girls? No. So yeah. So if you've seen the show, don't go to Nick at Night because it may or may not still exist. Apparently, go to Hulu and watch the episode and let us know what you think.
Nick at Night. You're gonna call me on your Razor phone next?
I had a Razor phone.
You're gonna, of course you did. You're gonna put on your Heelys and we're gonna.
I never had
down
those.
the hall.
I don't have the balance for Heelys.
Oh, that's good.
Anyway, so I'm going to go to books, and I'm going to go first because she's being mean to me. So,
are we back in 2026 or are we still in 1990?
actually,
We were 9 years old.
with my book choice, we're back in the 1940s.
Oh, God. What now?
So our book choice is Red Harvest by Dahiell Hammet. And so this is the first full-length...
that name.
He is a hard-boiled detective author. He's the one who wrote The Maltese Falcon. And so before it became a movie, it was a book. And so I like Raymond Chandler better than Dahiell Hammet, but Red Harvest was the first hard-boiled detective. And so what that means is like the world is seedy and everyone is corrupt, and this one paragon of virtue who may or may not be a paragon of virtue is the detective, the world-weary detective that saves the girl and most of the time refuses the money for the case because something happened. And so I really appreciate the kind of silver lining of a grim world that the hard-boiled detective genre really brings. It's not always it's not always a happy ending, but it's a ray of sunshine. And why are you laughing?
So every time you say hard boiled, I think of eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
Every time. I continue.
Yes. So I appreciate the nuance that it brings into the mystery genre, because the comfy mysteries, the cozy mysteries you have, like Agatha Christie. I love Agatha Christie, but it's so tight. Apparently, I'm boring
I don't
her.
know what's the matter with me.
So, but like it's tied up nicely, and there's no nuance, and Hercule Poirot always wins the day, and stuff like that. So I appreciate those, but I also appreciate the more nuanced shades of gray that the hard-boiled detective really brings. And Red Harvest was the first novel.
All right.
What do you got? What do you have?
I am
Yes.
rereading Tales of the City by Armisted Maupin, which is phenomenal. It started as a column in the San Francisco Chronicle back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Hey, you're going back in time too.
Fair. And the author would release one little bit of the story every week.
Oh, cool.
And the audience was just like enraptured with it and looking for more. And it eventually became a book series. And what's beautiful about it is you have to think about the time that this was written and published. It was the early 80s to mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
The AIDS crisis was beginning to be in full swing, right? The story takes place in San Francisco and has a trans character, which is very unusual. The main character of the story, Mrs. Madrigal. Totally want to go hang out with her. And some of the characters are gay, some of the characters are straight. There is an AIDS storyline that comes later in one of the later books. I mean, it really captures that time period, but you have to remember this was not a time where it was safe to be out. Stonewall had happened only a few years before the books were written and published. So this is a very revolutionary series that had mass appeal, ironically, at a time when most people were not tolerant of gay and lesbians and trans and, you know, people that didn't fit within the cisgender heterosexual identity.
That's interesting.
It's really good.
That's like, I think we still have a ways to go
Big
with
time.
acceptance in that, but I think we have come a little further in the acceptance of transgender homosexuality in general. And then we were in that time. It was really dangerous. I mean, not to belittle any danger that people coming out nowadays feel. It's possible more often than not here. So I love going back to stuff like that to see like this is kind of a harbinger of things to come.
It just blows me away, the popularity of those books, that people could accept it in fictional characters. Yeah. But the societal behavior did not match their interest in the series.
Interesting.
It's fantastic. I loved it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. So if you want to get a copy of that book,
check this out. It's cool.
So go to our website and scroll down. Our website is dttproductions.com. Scroll down to the book recs link. Click that. It's going to take you to a bookshop.org list curated by us. And so if you buy any of the books on that list, we get a portion of the proceeds. So if you don't want to buy merch and you'd want to buy a book, you can still support us. So please.
And the book list is all the books we've recommended on the show that are available on that site. Yep. So if you like what I'm talking about, go check it out. It's really good.
Go support us.
Yeah.
Please. All right, guys. That's it for this week. I'm going to go find out if Nick at Night is still a thing.